Message begins right now. Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. I want you to put a bubble around this place, blocking out all other sounds and concepts. There is an energy here for you, and for some of you this day of teaching is an energy of aha. It's an energy that isn't new, for it's remembering. Dear ones, for many of you there will be many of these rememberings, and this is what you expected at this time. You are going to start remembering the things of ancient days that made sense. These are the things you learned and experienced as shamanic beings in your past. The ancients were you, old soul, and there's a lot to remember. You'll remember the various prophecies that even you, as ancients, participated in, knowing at some level you'd actually be in that future someday. And now here you are. All of these things began to make sense within the feelings that you are now starting to have. This particular channel is one that asks a question: how are you going to perform life now, going from the dark to the light, when you, as an old soul, have literally been on the planet for thousands of years? From the very creation story, you are literally imbued with the knowledge of light and dark. You've been alive at some level, civilization after civilization. You've even been here in civilizations that history books don't know about yet. That's how old you are. Yet each time you were on this planet, you returned into a low consciousness. On a scale of 1 to 10, meaning 1 is starting consciousness and 10 is the wisest consciousness, human civilization is still only at about 3.5. That is as far as it has developed within any civilization on this planet. Be aware that some started with more, but devolved into what you have now. You have lived thousands of years within an older energy, and here you are with a changing energy where light is starting to show itself and where darkness is starting to flail in its dysfunction. Low consciousness, darkness, is losing because the very attributes of what used to feed it are no longer viable. The systems that featured the lack of integrity and greed are going to start to crumble. Different parts of the planet will be affected first, and others will follow. However, they will crumble because light is winning. How are you doing personally? How will it be, walking into the light from thousands of years of darkness? What habits are you going to carry into this new era that will keep you in the dark? I wish to share with you just a few attributes in these few moments. These will be what you call food for thought. Old soul, you are the hope of the planet, the light of the planet. Old soul, you are the experienced ones of the planet, yet so many of you are still working the puzzle in the dark. How are you going to do it? I'm going to make a list of attributes, as I often do, and it's not a long one. The list will represent steps and insights into the process of moving from the dark to the light. Belief, like so many other lists we have given you, number 1 goes like this: do you believe it? Do you really believe it? We've given channels about health and your ability to mine the Akash. We've spoken about you, talking to your cells and working with your innate. In all of these, number 1 is always, do you believe it? The reason that this step is primary and the most important is that unless your consciousness takes it in as truth, the rest of your body hasn't got a chance. You are the boss of your cells and your consciousness talks to that which is your innate, and you have to be on board with all of it. You have to make it your own. Do you believe it? Do you really believe a shift is taking place? As you look around the planet and see all that is happening in business and government, you may see something odd. Although these things all happened regularly in an old energy, they are floundering in this new energy, or at least appearing to be inappropriate. You have never seen this energy, which has never been tested in your lifetimes. No human has ever seen these coming attributes yet. If you take saltwater fish and put them into fresh water, they will die unless there is a mechanism for them to refine their metabolism. They are aquatic, but not with that type of water. You're moving from dark to light, and although you have lived many lives, the paradigms are different. You will have to adjust. So number 1 is that you have to believe it. Is this really happening on the planet? Or is it something you heard at a seminar during the channel? Is it wishful thinking? something that you are not really on board with, or are you a part of it? If you are, then you have to say, I see it. Wow, it's really happening. I am in the right place at the right time and I am part of the shift. It's one of the grandest things that has happened on the planet. I am alive at the right time, and I came for this. Some of you may be super analytical and say, I couldn't have come for this new darkness, light shift because I'm too old. This or that is wrong with me, so I can't proceed with something so different with so much change. Dear one, the creation of light is something you do best no matter who you are, how old you are or what's happening in your body. The creation of compassion and light is consciousness working in its most elegant way, and all of you can do this. There are so many who have said, I'm not coming back, I've done my job. Yes, you are. I'll say it again and again. You wouldn't miss the party. Dear ones, you're not going to make the same mistakes you did this time. You will come in with freshness and an Akashic remembrance that will create wisdom that is new. That's what is going to happen later, but for now we need you, old soul. You are here now to literally win this war of light and dark while you're still alive. And that is why we offer you information for extended life. When you start to understand how you can heal your body, talk to your cells, and create that which medicine has said is impossible. Some are sitting here right now and you've already done it. I know who's here, and I know who sits in front of me. Miracles abound with you and synchronicities are here in the audience. I know what has happened in your life. Spirit knows. You are so ripe for this information. Once you have decided that it's real, and decide to own it for yourself, then you can begin a journey into the light. Next you have to ask, if it's real, what am I going to do to cooperate with it? What changes within me because I have cognized or owned the fact that there is a dark, light shift happening? This is the fulfillment of the prophecy of the ages, and you are in a time that is unusual and ripe with change. What is your next step? What are you going to do? Old consciousness habits. Human, you contain old habits, and this is nothing to be ashamed of or be guilty about. Habits are habits, and you've done what you've done to survive all your life, and now the fabric of what you are used to has started to shift. So what if you were to analyze your reaction to things? Are you a complainer? You may not even realize you are, because it's so easy to chime in with other complainers without thinking about it. Did you know this is a habit? It's a cultural habit. You may not actually believe the things that you say, but it's a habit. Do you have a positive approach to the future? You may say you do, but when others around you say, we're all doomed and it will never get better, it's all going downhill, do you say nothing and nod your head yes? That's easy to do. Perhaps you are more proactive. Perhaps, without being contrary or antisocial, you instead think about the negative statements and say, well, I'm not really sure. I've heard some good things. I'm a little more positive than that. Perhaps you have learned to be more positive without stating something that would make your friends uncomfortable or wrong. Have you figured out the diplomacy of common sense and balance? Perhaps you have figured out how to go against the grain of the negative habits of those around you, yet not be seen as somebody who is out of touch, but rather one who is forward-thinking and positive. There's a difference with what you now know about the shift. Can you start looking at things differently? What thing is possible now, when before you thought it wasn't? In your own life, will you start taking stock of perhaps of what might be instead of that which you've already decided can't be? I'm talking to some here who have defined the planet and themselves, and feel that nothing will change it. That's just not true, dear ones. I gave a channel recently about the delusions of the darkness and the great untruths, and one untruth is this: nothing will ever change. Human nature will always be the same, and history proves it. Can you get out of the box of the past and start looking forward to something you don't expect? When somebody says to you, look, these are the facts, cleaning this up just can't happen. Look, these are the facts. This is what happened in the past over and over, and it will continue to happen. Can you then say, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I feel confident that we are not the same as in the past, and the future is not what we've been told. You see, we don't know everything. You don't know what you don't know, and, therefore, there is hope. Not just hope, there's promise. Are you one who believes in the shift? How, then, do you change old habits to show it? That was number 2. Marketing the drama and unseen truth. Number 3. There are some very old energies in your society and in your culture that have always been the same and represent past human nature, and you have to decide what to do with them. You may not be able to change them, but you have a choice on what to do with them. If you believe in the shift and you are starting to think more positive, then let me tell you something that will help. There is light on this planet that is not being reported. There is the beginning of high consciousness ideas and new thought about the future of humanity in very powerful places. These are seeds of new thought that are beginning to grow, and some of them make so much sense and are elegant, yet you'll never know about them. The reason? Your media is filled with the old dark consciousness of drama, above all else, and many of you willingly create a platform to sustain it. Some of you will come home from work and feel it's a nice idea to turn on the media and watch all of the horrible things that happened on the planet that day. Perhaps you don't want the news, so you go for entertainment instead. So you turn on a program where you can watch families in drama, arguing and complaining. What I'm telling you, dear ones, is that your media is broken, and you watch it anyway. Right now, it continues in the old energy, and the management in charge thinks it knows best what you and your neighbors want. So it's going to deliver darkness on a regular basis, and if there's nothing dark, it will create it for you. That is what you're faced with. Here is my advice. Select the media carefully that you believe is true and accurate. Wouldn't you rather have fun things to watch? Perhaps you'd like to watch cute pets or animals doing fun things. How about children doing amazing and hilarious things, or great stories of heroism with uplifting endings? How about amazing nature or comedy that is hilarious? Right now, with new devices, you can see all of that as much as you want, without commercials. This is the newest trend and evolution of your media selection: personal control over programs in your home, without commercial interruption. Did you see this happening and wonder why now? So the solution to drama-biased media is simple. Don't watch or listen to standard broadcast. Instead, find out about the alternates and be selective. Select news that is less biased in bringing you full-time drama. Of course, you need to stay in touch with what is happening, but you don't have to accept a program that is dedicated to enhancing and promoting the drama of the day and making it worse, or that gives no news at all about the good things going on. I say this because broadcast not only is broken, it's dangerous, since it gives false impressions of the overview of the planet. They are stuck in the old energy and haven't caught up yet with the overview of what might really be happening on the planet. Not yet. Even the channels that will give you supposedly good education and history are biased in ways that you would not even expect. They continue to believe in slanting even historical documentary stories to be horrific and dark. They believe that is what people really want. What would happen if these companies started programming things people really wanted to watch? What would happen is exactly what they want, and their revenues would go up. I hope they're listening. There will come some day, dear ones, where there'll be more than one good news channel and you can tune in to hear the most heroic and heart-rending things that have happened on that day on the planet. It will be balanced, perhaps with some other things that also happened, but it will be a balance that you have not seen yet anywhere. Disabling drama. Let me give you another, dear ones. Some of you have friends, family and colleagues at work who are difficult to be around. Each time you show up, there is drama. It hurts your heart. Sometimes it makes you afraid to be the and it always makes you tired. It's not anything you can change, it's the nature of darkness. I want to tell you something I've never said before. There are two kinds of situations here and two kinds of answers to these kinds of issues. One is consistent drama. If this is something that is happening where you now live, it would serve you, old soul, to find an avenue out of the drama, whatever that means to you. Disengage from the drama, and when you do, you're going to find that you're going to live longer, light is going to come in, and you're going to laugh more. Lightworker, listen to me. Old soul, listen to me. Get out of the drama. Don't let any situation go to a dramatic place over and over and over while you sit there and let it. If you cannot control it, if you cannot be part of changing it, then remove yourself. Why would you sit around poison? Why would you continue to ingest things that are going to kill you? Then why stay with drama? 2 is temporary drama, the hardest one. Drama often spins and spins in families, and it's the reason that so many of you in this room and listening have disengaged from the cow family. You have become the black sheep. Actually, you are the white sheep, and what is black is the drama that the family spins within. That is why holidays are so difficult for you. It's a time where there is an obligation to visit, and, in the process, you must pop back into the family drama for a day or two, and it's very uncomfortable, often confrontational, and difficult. When you go, don't let them push your anger or frustration buttons. Stay balanced and be ready for potential family drama. If they try to get you to be involved in their drama process, just stay balanced and show them what you have learned, how to be positive and not be affected by their process. This is difficult, but if you can do it, they notice. They notice that they can't upset you or frustrate you or bully you with something that is very old, karmically not tuned to you any longer, or inappropriate. No matter how much they try, you laugh it off and clearly are not taking the bait. You have no idea how empowering this is for you and how much light it creates in dark places. You just won't play drama with them. This is what mastery is really about. Role of the inner child. I want you to invite the inner child back into your life. Can you remember, dear ones, a time where you had nothing to worry about? Can you remember when the biggest issue in your life was how long you could play, and when you had to come back in the house? That wonderful feeling of release from life's issues is still inside. It's not an invitation to be irresponsible, but rather it's an invitation to find the joy of the child and to paste it back upon your current life when you need to. This creates a more relaxed human and a kindness and balance that only the remembrance of the innocence of a child can create. This is a critical step to staying balanced and not letting the adult world dictate your depression or your clinical feelings toward life. This actually may be the hardest of the steps because of what is around you and the situations you encounter and the increasing battle of light and dark. Within all of this, I'm asking you to find joy. In order to do that, you bring back remembrances of the most joyful things that have ever happened to you. This often has to do with your childhood. You create the feelings of the day before Christmas, or your birthday, or the day before some event that you've been looking forward to for so long. The excitement that you have for these things makes you want to jump up and down and smile. Life is good. These things are all still part of the inner child within you. Dear ones, the evolved human being is the one who has the opportunity to have this as part of everyday life until the last breath. It doesn't just belong to children, it belongs to an evolved human being. That's what makes the difference between the old and the new. Compassion will play its part here naturally. It becomes automatic and self-evident. Love will play its part naturally. Common sense will, too. Balance prevails with common sense. You don't have to try to love, you don't have to try to be compassionate. It's just who you are. Can you cognize this? Is it really happening? Is the shift happening? The wind is finally at your back. We've said that before. This is the new energy. Welcome to the new earth. go from this place changed. There will be some who listen to this and say that Kryon is crazy. There is no improvement or light coming. It's not what they see on the news. Exactly. So why watch it? There are things on this planet that are beautiful and are happening now that are not being seen. I want you to cognize that and know it, believe it, and understand it. Light is winning, and so it is. Kryon. End of the message. Much love to all you soul sisters, brothers. Watch DNA Awakening previous videos for better understanding. New subscribers will be updated with the latest articles and informations. We hope this channel has helped you discover where to start on your actual spiritual path. It's a good karma to put to like, comment, subscribe and share with your beloved ones. Leave your suggestion in the field below. All the love to you, beautiful souls.